Welcome back to Kingdom Cast. This is your host, Super Champ Chuck. We back at it with another episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share on all your social media platforms. 2023 Chiefs training camp is finally here. Day two has been knocked off the books. We're gonna get into all that. But before we get into all that, let's go on and introduce the starting five here. At point guard, we got Kylie Winfrey down the bottom left of the screen. At shooting guard, you got my guy Boogie on the bottom right of the screen. At small forward, we got my guy D Mac on the top right. At power forward, we got my guy Country in the middle of the screen on the top.
See where
So it's finally here, y'all. Another edition of Chiefs training camp.
We
This
got
time
LeBron at the
camp.
5.
Boy, you always doing this, man. I don't get it. Anyway,
Thank you for that. Boogie.
I wanted to be Jalen Rose at the 3 though. D-Mac stole it from me though. I'm for real.
I need Jalen Rose Barber, yo.
You can be Juwan Howard, bro. Ain't nothing wrong with being Juwan Howard.
Sure.
He was raw in college.
Fab Five. I like
Yeah, Fab 5.
Bad five.
Yeah, let's roll with that. So yeah, man, we finally here, man. So I mean, how excited? How excited are y'all, man? Like, what are some things y'all looking forward to?
That 45-minute drive to St. Joe. It's so boring. It's one of the worst. It's like a straight shot, but it's really a boring drive. It's like driving to Omaha. It's like, ugh. But once you get close, you be ready, man. But that drive sucks.
No,
But it's like 45 minutes to get there, but it feels like it's only 15 minutes getting back.
Yeah.
It's like when you on the way home, it's like, man, something about going to training camp. The first thing I want after that is a nap because
From watching them all work so hard.
right,
You
for
got
watching
them
them work out. Like I did something.
That's St. Joe.
Dude, yeah.
You're out there in the sun the entire time just watching them. Yeah, I can understand why you need nap after that.
Man, we don't go to the bar like we used to.
Good job, John. No, I'm excited
job,
for
John.
camp, man. We finally have gotten through the malaise that is the off season, and we are into training camp. People are actually trying to play football at some, a little bit kind of without pads, but we are seeing football activities occur. That's the fun part.
Football in the underwear.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it.
I'm excited. I want to see these this tackle position and the receiver position. That's what I'm looking forward to the most. So I'm excited.
Shout out to Cole, man.
Shout out to Cole, dog.
What up, Cole?
What up,
Yeah,
Cole?
I feel like we're all looking forward to like the wide receiver room. There's just so much I pretty much feel like I know who it's gonna be, but I feel like there's still a lot of questions. And then we've heard so much hype on like Deneric Prince, so I'm looking at running backs. I want to see what CEH is up to, or lack thereof. And yeah, I'm excited. I'm ready to be up there.
I'll tell you
What about
what.
Chuck?
Bug
Yeah.
clearly higher than Aaron Rodgers sitting in the darkness. 'Cause they ain't-
Yeah.
Nah.
Wait. Chill on mute.
Licking on a toe.
but yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to training camp, man. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing this new rookie class. Of course, I mean it's always exciting. I mean, I'm also looking forward to some of the camp battles, like seeing Wanye Morris and FAU. They was talking a little trash in the little press conference after the first day of practice. So I think PJ Green, shout out to friend of the show from Fox 4. He showed a
What
clip.
up, PJ?
You showed a clip of Felix getting a sack on Wanye Morris. Beat him off the snap count and whatnot. So that's gonna be interesting to watch. This is some of the few things.
Man,
Do y'all think that tackle position, just how they handled that and how left tackle and right tackle, how that's gonna be, that's kind of getting swept under the rug right now with the receivers and all that?
I think it is to an extent. I mean, obviously, it sounds like Jawan Taylor's
Right.
going to lock down the right tackle position, but that is an underrated aspect of if Ronye can really come in and show them something early on. Can he push Donovan Smith to try and get a starting spot out the gate? And obviously, if Smith has to be healthy to be able to hold on to his spot there. So that's an underrated thing that people aren't really talking about much. As far as obviously the wide receivers aside, but honestly, that's probably the only like real starting spot as far as set, every single game that is probably up for grabs at this point.
So let's be honest. How many open spots are on this roster right now?
Very few.
Yeah, it's
not
very
many.
I would
small.
say
Very
I would
small.
say maybe wide receiver 6,
I think
running
they
back
carry
Yeah.
4 running
4,
backs.
maybe.
I think they carry
Like
4
you,
running backs.
It's
like
like
we.
to me, it's like wide receiver 7/running back 4 would be the
Mhm.
kind of spot, and then maybe slash offensive line 9-ish, maybe, or 10, maybe. And then it's like 2 DB spots, and then maybe a linebacker spot would be for me the only open spot. So you're looking like 3 to 4, maybe 5 at most.
Mhm.
Yeah, and also, how many DNs gonna carry too?
Yeah, I mean, I do think that they will keep obviously George. I mean, FAU. I think Dana obviously makes the team. I think BJ is going to stick on this team. He has special teams value, and I don't think they took him by accident. They want him on the team. The question is obviously, or somebody that was on this team last year, Carlos Dunlap, is that guy possibly added back to this roster? He would make a lot of sense to be added back, in my opinion. So there could be a sixth edge added to this roster for sure.
And where does Warden start the season off? Is he on the pup, or is he
Mhm.
going to make it off the pup? He's dealing with the ACL, so that's another factor. Is Kane Doe finally going to make that leap? Who
Yeah,
knows? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. Good luck
so
with that.
You pushing Kane though, dog. I know it's important to
He
say.
has.
no, I mean, hey, he's a nice kid. He's a nice kid, but I mean, it's year 3, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, as nice a guy he is, and I'm rooting for him, but it is what it is, bro. You know what I'm saying?
What's up, Mark?
I think
To-
Kennard makes that's Mrs. Kylie. She's married.
Yeah, she is married, but
Gotta put an R in there.
yeah, we'll forgive you,
Put a
Mark.
little R in there. It's okay.
Yeah, she's not a widow. I think Kennard makes the 53 backup lineman.
I think he does too. I haven't penciled in as at an interior offensive line spot. It sounds like they may be moving him to transition, but he has that tackle versatility still. And like, he was on the team last year. I think he'll still be on the team this year. But as far as Warren is concerned, it sounds like they're optimistic about where his rehab is at. He's been doing work on the sideline to start camp, and obviously there's a month until things start. So I hope he is ready. It may take him a second, obviously, to be back to his full ability, but he was really coming on at the start of last season as far as his interior pass rush is concerned, and that's really a nice element to be able to throw out there occasionally.
Has
How
it been
many
a year? When did he get hurt?
Or I think it was week 3-ish last year.
It was early. It was
Yeah.
early.
Mhm.
What were you
how,
gonna say, Boogie?
how many corners are y'all keeping?
I have
Mm.
6 on the roster right now, but it's
Yeah,
all
I would go with 6. Who's your
it's
6?
it's the
Snead,
DBs.
Yeah, I think it's 6. It's McDuffie, Snead,
Williams,
Johnson
Watson.
Williams,
I have Nick.
Watson,
I have
Jalen
Nick
Watson.
Jones. I have Nick Jones
Nick
and
Jones.
Najee
Mm.
Johnson as the kind of 6, but Shamari Connor could be him instead of Najee Johnson. It's DB is essentially more so than straight corners, but that would be the 6 I kind of have right now.
Yeah,
So
Najee
you
like the
keep four.
safety.
You keep 4 safeties in that scenario.
Yeah, I have 4 right now.
So
Deion Bush getting onto this team is going to be difficult because I feel like they feel comfortable with Najee and Connor onto this special teams core, and obviously Mike Edwards more so working into the third safety role. Bush is going to have to show something to really justify being on the roster.
He wasn't bad in spot duty though. Like
No, he wasn't.
he,
He was not.
he didn't look out of place when he was called up. But
Mm.
hey, these are good problems, man. These are good problems to have. Like I think we solid. I think Boogie will attest to this. A lot of times we didn't clearly have a better roster than the team we were facing. We had the better quarterback and the better coach, not necessarily the best roster. But now I think we're going into games where we might have the better team 1-53 than our opponents. and it's not been like that the whole time.
I got to see how the secondary shake up though before I say that.
That's fair.
I need to see them take a step this year.
Yeah, Boogie is a tough.
I'm excited for Cook though. I feel like Cook's going to take a big step. I've been hearing good. I mean, we've been seeing some good things coming out of camp on him. I'm excited for him. And I do like what you were saying though, Country. Like I feel like the floor is higher, so we're going to see just a level of play increase across the entire board. And the defense, I'm excited. Got all these young guys coming back, DB specifically. Like it's going to be great.
Boogie, I mean, Country, to your point, though, when you talk about not having that many open roster spots, that's a testament to how good of depth that this team has kind of built for itself over these past few years with good draft picks, obviously with some key signings. So the fact that you're going into the season and you have 4 linebackers that you could trust, the fact that you go into the season that you have 4 corners that you feel like you can trust, the fact that you go into the season you have a solid D-line rotation, solid safety room. Obviously, you feel good about the quarterback situation. Obviously, you have 4 tight ends you feel solid about as well. Your offensive line is fairly set. Yeah, that's a testament to how good this roster is right now, and how high competition it is. Because you got guys like Isaiah Moore, Truman Jones, Jack Cochran, Remigio, who we saw a highlight from, et cetera, et cetera. Those guys are guys that are probably going to be fighting for practice squad spots because of how good this roster is.
And to your point about Remigio, it seems like he's a guy that may be pretty popular with all these other NFL teams. So it looks like we may have to be lucky to keep him on the practice squad, if he continues to show out. So
Mahomes is tweeting them too, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, he getting that. Him and Rice are getting that Tyreek Hill treatment of every day is. Well, Rice did this. Rice threw up, but he also caught this contested 7-on-7 catch, and he also scored a touchdown here. Or what's the kid's name? Remigo. I ain't gonna even trying to pronounce his name. He's doing something. Or Nick is making plays every day. He had a tipped interception. He had, you know what I'm saying. So they getting that Tyreek Hill treatment. So like when Tyreek Hill came. Every day, Therese was like, y'all should have seen this. Like, every day. And it was like, before we got there, when he was like a rookie, of course. So it was like, man, I don't know. Are they just hyping him up? But when you got there, clearly, he was worth the hype. So it's going to be fun to see it in person.
So let me ask y'all this. This. So, like, as far as the y'all should have seen this moments, like, which receiver is going to have more of those moments throughout camp? Kadarius Toney or Rashee Rice?
Should be Toney.
It needs to be Toney.
People aren't going to be trying to tackle out there, so I feel like that kind of neutralizes what's Toney's, kind of extreme highlight plays sometimes come from the jukes and stuff. So I'll go Rashee Rice because he's a good test the catch guy. Get up there, try and make some plays, Yeah, I'd like to see some more Rashee Rice highlights, but I really want to see is the guy that John is very excited about is Trent McDuffie. I want Trent McDuffie to be out there locking these wide receivers down. Like, obviously, I have confidence in these wide receivers, but Trent McDuffie, I think, can be one of the best corners in the league. I want him to be able to show that, in some of these training camp battles.
How many games did he get last year? 10? 10 in the playoffs? He missed a good 7 games, right?
Yeah, including the playoffs, I think he did get to double digits.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, and we need to build on that. He didn't have. He clearly had in Denver. He had that one where he was way out of position. The wide receiver was wide open, but he didn't have many mistakes. He did good against Jamar Chase, even though people fail to realize he did, and they want to acknowledge that he did. But Trent had good moments, great moments. So I want to see him for a whole season. That hamstring, man, he was out for so long. Like, I kind of forgot about him for a little bit, but I know why John is high on him. I'm high on him too. So let's see if he can build on that and then come back for a whole. Let's see him stay healthy for a whole season. Because if he hits, I mean, we're gonna have some questions because that raises the question of, do you keep Snead? You know what I'm saying? Like, or do you just let him walk, or do you trade him for whatever you need to do? So Trent McDuffie, he raises a lot of questions. A lot of good questions. You know what I'm saying? So
Boogie is perplexed.
I mean, I don't think what McDuffie does got anything to do with Snead because we use Snead just a different way. Like
I know, but I'm saying there's
hold our number one receivers per se. We using him pass rushing. We using him holding tight ends. He's doing a little bit of everything. We're not really asking McDuffie to do that.
yeah, but it's pay time too, though. You know what I'm saying? So it's time for Snead to get paid. Are you gonna pay him, or are you gonna, you know what I'm saying? Is he expendable? I would love to keep him because the way they start using him towards the end of the season, that's the way he needs to play. If he plays like that all the time, he's going to be in the conversation with those other guys that he should be in the conversation with now. But I mean, I'm curious to see how they use him. Justin Reid said he's getting more comfortable in the defense. I'm curious to see how are they going to use him, how they use him late in the season, and he looked like a good safety, a great safety. He looked like the guy that we've been wanting. So
Snead was the second best defensive player last year, though.
I agree. I definitely agree with that.
It might be a little bit of debate. It might be a little bit of debate, but
between him and Bolden.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Him or Nick Bolden.
You can go either way.
Man, I know Snead affected the game in a multitude of ways.
So wait, you're saying Nick Bolden and then Snead were the two best defensive players on the field?
No, who would put you in the second best?
Just to say, okay,
no.
Like, what about Chris?
We ain't forgot about that.
Yeah,
I was like, hold on.
We ain't forgot about 95.
I'm saying. I know
Callie said, "Gotta have too
right
many
here.
white claws over here. What's going on?"
I know. No.
This guy right here that hopefully is going to get paid soon. He was definitely number one.
Hold on.
Yeah, no.
I know I'm not hearing what I'm hearing. Oh boy. No, I think in terms of Snead, like I really want to keep Snead. I love Snead, but like we didn't pay Ward. I just don't think that Beach is gonna pay Snead as much as I would like him to. I think they get that Chris Jones deal done, and then we keep Snead for another year. And then the way that they've developed these DBs, Jalen Watson and Joshua, I just think the secondary is growing on their own, and they're building this team from rookies. And I just don't see us keeping Snead long term. Back to it, I do see them using Snead inside and using Trent McDuffie on the outside. So I think they're going to make a really great tandem out there.
Do you see Snead possibly making that Tyrann Mathieu Swiss Army knife of I can play inside, I can play outside, I can rush, I can play the nickel, I can do all of this. You know what I'm saying? That's why I say keep Snead because Spags has been looking for that guy since Tyrann left. And I think he might be that guy that he can use as a Swiss Army. I can put him anywhere.
I mean, I think he's already been using him that way because of his safety skills, and so that affords him that ability to be, more creative with them. And if obviously the big part of it, if you can trust, obviously the three corners in Watson, in Williams, in McDuffie, those guys to be out there consistently, then Snead is the guy that can become, your star defender that you use in creative ways on certain matchups, however you want him to. And obviously Spags through the back half of the schedule, when he got McDuffie back, was able to be a little bit more creative in that mode. So I think that's important. And we'll see exactly how he wants to deploy Snead this year because there are going to be times probably that he wants Snead in certain matchups. But there's other times where he might identify number one wide receiver and say, McDuffie, you go follow him all over the field. And there has been some, evidence of success with that as well. So it'll be interesting to see.
Let me ask you, what do you feel like Snead is worth? Like, what would you pay him? And then on the other side of that, would Beach pay that? Because what was Ward's contract?
Ward got like about 12.
Didn't he get like 40?
He got more than that. He
got like 42, right?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Hold on.
How much did it average out? Like 12 a season?
He got
about 12 a season, maybe a little bit less than that.
He got 40 and a half in total. About 13 and a half annual per year.
26 guaranteed, yeah.
So I don't
I
know if the
would
thing
give Snead that. I'm not.
you would
Is
give
that too
Snead that,
much?
but we wouldn't give Ward that. And so like my point is like I just don't see them paying. I don't know. I hope
But
so. I hope I'm wrong.
I
I think he brings more to the table than Ward brought, though.
I think
Yeah,
it
he
would be
does.
like paying Honey Badger without the leadership. But like you said, he's already doing that Honey Badger type role. So it wouldn't be
Right.
like paying a top corner. It would be like paying a safety or a hybrid.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I think that they view him as better than Javarius Ward for sure.
Yeah.
But as far as what they would pay him, it's a good question. I mean, you talk
That's-
about, I mean, Javarius Ward at 13 and a half. I mean, he was close to a top 10 corner as far as annual per year. So it gets expensive. Like, is he willing to essentially make L'Jarius Sneed one of the top 10 highest cornerbacks? I
So,
don't know
like,
if Fred Veach wants to do that. I don't think he does.
Yeah.
so like,
Especially though when you see the productivity that like Jalen Watson had last year. Like,
Mm.
I just think, yeah, I just
And
think value wise, they feel like they can go out and draft somebody that's going to make up for Snead. Not
But they
to
already
say
might
he's
have.
not like the most physical guy, right? And not to say like Snead brings a physicality to the game that and to the defense that like I don't feel like the other guys do bring. So that's definitely something we want on our team. But you don't know how they view him. You know, it's just hard. It's hard.
But to your point, as far as drafting a guy, they might have already. Like as far as Nick Jones, who they've heard a lot about and they've enjoyed, he's a guy that can go into nickel occasionally. Jamari Connor was drafted in the 4th round for this team. They obviously identified him as somebody that can do a lot of the safety stuff that L'Jarius Sneed brings to the table, can go into the nickel occasionally. So if they draft those versatile corners, and then you add on or DBs in general, and then you add on obviously these 3 guys from last year's class that you really like and showed up in big moments. There's an argument there that you don't need to be investing heavily into the DB room again with keeping L'Jarius Sneed. But L'Jarius Sneed is a very important piece of this defense for sure.
Does Spags have enough power to be like? Because Dave Tobe has the power to say this is my guy, but those are cheap guys.
Exactly.
Does Spags have the power to be like this, Brett? This is my guy. I need this one. I need him.
It's gonna always come down to the money because we know Veach is disciplined with it. So he's gonna have a number. If it's close, then maybe. If not, we know he gonna let him walk. I mean,
right, yeah.
I mean,
Veach don't play about his number.
Yeah, because I mean, I'm looking at this Ward contract right now. So like with Snead, I'm like, is he like a $14 or $15 million per year corner?
I think that's what it would take to keep him.
With 10 to 14,
I don't know if you're paying it. I don't know if you're getting that money.
At $14 million, where would that put him at, pay wise?
8th, I believe.
If he did
he would be making the same as Darius Slay and Carlton Davis.
that's fit. It's not bad though, man. I think he's worth that.
If it 26 guaranteed, that's really like 2 years.
Yeah,
like
you know they'll make it work. You know they'll find a way to fit it in there.
30 guaranteed.
And Darius Slay getting the same contract as Carlton Davis. I mean, I feel like the Eagles are getting kind of a bargain.
No, they definitely are.
Man, that is definitely
Slay's got to be up at this point because he has 2 more years left on his deal, but he signed. Dang, really? That's crazy. He's Slay. Slay is getting kind of.
Slay need a better agent.
He does.
Man,
He really does.
Yeah,
Slay getting robbed out there.
JC Jackson got 16 mil. Man,
Right.
Slay needed a better agent. That's for
Slay
sure.
definitely better than him.
But
Yeah.
Kevin, we can still keep Speed next year in franchise. A minute to be about that.
It's a good point.
That's a good point.
That franchise tag is going to be next year, but yeah, that also is a possibility.
And Snead loves Kansas City. I think it's away from the city, and I think he's really made a home here. He likes it here. That means nothing when it comes to negotiations, but maybe there's a bit of a hometown discount in there somewhere, but I'm not gonna bet on it. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think $14 million is bad for Snead. I really don't. They'll find a way to make it work under the cap.
Based on where Snead got drafted at, I mean, I don't know. I don't know about that hometown discount.
Yeah, I mean, look,
Hey,
if it's the same thing with Ward. At that point, go and get your money. I completely understand it. The franchise tag is projected to be around
Definitely
20 million next year, so that would be a very expensive tag to try and put on him.
for
it'll,
corners at
you said
20
it'll be
million
20 million. Oh
Yes,
no, you
it
for
can't
is.
pay.
corners.
No, you gotta go. You can't. No,
Yes.
Whoa!
no.
Yeah, it's expensive as hell.
Why did it jump? Wait a minute, who making it jump that much?
It's the average of the top five, right?
Right,
I
yeah.
know, but who is making it jump that much?
Well, so the top five right now, Jair Alexander's at 21, Ward and Ramsey are both at 20, 19.5 for Marlon, and Marshawn Lattimore is at 19.5 as well.
Really?
Wait,
Well,
tell me who was the second name
with
you
the
mentioned?
Denzel Ward.
Oh, okay.
You know the Browns got that money to throw around.
Yeah, bruh.
Let's enjoy it while we can, then, y'all.
Yeah.
Right.
Boogie said, "Oh, those are numbers you talk about. Yeah, let's just enjoy the season of luxurious need."
Hey,
Hey,
Boogie, he changed the whole narrative when he started naming
saying,
the numbers.
Get your money, Snake.
Hey,
Get
man.
your money, man.
hey,
I thought
but
it was closer to 14, 15. That's why I'm like, yeah, that ain't.
Now
Man.
I think 14, 15, you could possibly get him back on a contract there, but that's not exactly a cheap price tag on top of that anyway. And again, it's if Veach wants to pay it.
For
Right.
2 years, I'm cool with that. If it's 2 years guaranteed money, I'm cool with that. Nothing
So-
over 30 million guaranteed.
I think
so we do
go ahead. Go
a
ahead.
3-year contract, 2 guaranteed, and 1 you can get out of. That's how you usually gonna set it up.
Yeah, and that's what majority of contracts. I think that you'll see that they would come to him and probably give him. I think they would go to him and say, "Hey, here's what Travaris Ward left for last or 2 off seasons ago. We're gonna give you, another bill on top of that as far as annual per year. We're gonna guarantee these first 2 years. If you want it, take it. If not, we thank you for your service."
I'm cool with that, man.
yeah,
That's fair.
that's
That's
just what
the
it is.
game. You know?
That's just what it is.
But the good
yeah,
news, sorry,
but
no.
Boogie, just wait till Trent McDuffie start playing at a near all pro level. Wait
But-
till we get to that point.
We don't have to pay him, though.
I mean, not right now. I'm talking about when that time comes, bro.
We got the 5th-year option, dog. We can keep kicking that can down the road.
Man,
We got 4 more years of cost control.
Right.
they gonna kick that can as long as they can, bro.
You gonna
They
kick it
gonna
like
kick
Harrison
that can
Bucket,
as
man.
long as they.
Yeah, but here's another subject I want to get on with camp. Isiah Pacheco. Right now, he's got a yellow jersey on, non-contact. He just doing agility drills, taking handoffs and whatnot. From what I've seen so far, he looks great. But we just got to see how his shoulder is. Come out the shoulder surgery. But so far, he ain't lost none of his explosiveness or anything. So as far as Isiah Pacheco goes, I made a bold prediction earlier in the podcast like a few days ago. Not a few days, but a few episodes ago. I said he could finish as like a top 5 rusher in the league in rushing yards, or he can get pretty. That was my bold prediction of the year. So I looked deeper into this, right? He didn't exactly have his full amount of snaps or full amount of carries until week 9 last year, right? So I did the numbers and it averaged like 70.3 yards per game. Now, if he's healthy for all 17 games this year, he gets the amount of carries that he should be projected to get. I say like on average, he'll get like close to 1,200, or he might get slightly over 1,200 yards. I mean, that seems pretty feasible for me for Pop, because I mean he averaged 4.9 yards a carry last year.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna add that he looks a little bigger up top. Like he looks like he's been working out this season in good shape. So he's gonna have to, like you said, he's gonna have to stay healthy.
Yeah.
I don't know how they didn't go. How many? What is his snap count? What is the snap count that you looking at?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, I'm looking at like, basically, the amount of carries he got. So like it was within like that, let's say that 13, 15 carry mark, maybe slightly over that from week 9 on. But like the last 2 games, he didn't get double digit carries. It was like 9 carries and 8 carries. But he's consistently getting them from the start of week 9 last year.
Well, I will say this, Miles Sanders last year was 5th in the league in rushing. He averaged 4.9 yards per carry, obviously in similar circumstances with a great pass game, great offensive line. And he averaged 5th. He had 1,269 yards. And, that type of season is within the realm of possibility if Pacheco does stay healthy. And he sees, because even even down the stretch in the back half of the season, it's not like he was all of a sudden playing 80% of snaps. It was only 50% of the snaps, and he was still getting, in the teens as far as workers was concerned. But like you said, with the back half of the schedule, he's consistently averaging 75 yards per game, and that's plenty enough to make it happen as far as being a top 5 rusher in this league in this day and age. And that's exactly where Miles Sanders landed. So that type of season is possible for him. I won't rule it out. I would bet against it only because of how we use running backs and things of that nature. I don't feel concerned about his injury because it's not a lower body injury. If it was lower body, it's a different question, but shoulder, hand, he'll be fine. But yeah, top 5 is within the realm of possibility.
Yeah, he said that's a goal for him this year to get 1,000 yards at least. He
Yeah,
said
he should get 1,000 easily, I think.
Yeah.
Are the Chiefs going to be in a position that he has to milk the clock, and are we going to do that? You know what I'm saying? Like, those are both questions that we got to ask. Because if we're going to be winning every game by 3 points, he might not get all those snaps. You know what I'm saying? Like those necessary. You remember when Kareem was here, and Kareem used to finish the games, like because we were up, and he would just finish the game. That's how he got a lot of his yards and stuff. So, is it going to be? Is he going to have those type of opportunities? And we got a difficult schedule, so it's not like we're going to just be blowing teams out every week. Like it's not a lot of cupcakes on the schedule, so. If he could get those and it could be in those situations where, all right, we just need to run the ball and run this clock down, I think he could get those type of snaps.
Yeah, he was begging the coaches last year to get those kind of moments. We seen on the sideline often. He was begging coaches like, "Yo, keep me in. Let me finish the drive. You know what I mean? Let me finish the game." So
This is a Pat Mahomes offense, though.
I mean, I
You
know.
know what I'm saying? Like, so.
I want Pacheco being used in the receiving game more and blocking more this year. That's the next step I want to see from him. I know he can run the ball, like you said. He gonna get the high per carry, just what type of runner he is. But if we can get him blocking good and receiving, so we won't have to use certain running backs, it'd be cool, man.
You can say it. You can say it.
Go ahead, Kylie.
I had a conversation today about how Clyde might be taking some of Pacheco's carries away, and I about fell over. So I think while it's great to have him in those in the earlier season games, just to protect McKinnon a little bit more and Pacheco a little bit more, I don't know that that CEH will be used long term. I'll be interested to see if we even keep CEH, to be completely honest.
But look, I'm with you though, Kylie.
Country, it's okay.
About CEH. I was talking about McKinnon too. We don't want to use him up in a regular season. I agree with you on that too.
Right.
But
and also, you saw it in the playoffs. There was a lot of interesting receiving opportunities for Pacheco, and he made the most of them when he had to. So getting better at the technical side of that, getting better at the technical side of blitz pickup, like. The good news as far as Pacheco is concerned from a pass protection standpoint is you can see the effort and the want to is absolutely there. There's no question about it. He wants to go hit somebody whether he has the ball or not. It's just all about, learning and being able to go through the process of getting better at that. And I think McKinnon being on this team should help him a lot to get better at that aspect of it. So, I think he's going to be fine. I think that he is going to take a step next year for sure.
I do want to see Pacheco work on his vision a little bit too. Like
that would be the biggest thing for me. The receiving is whatever.
Because he would have had 1,000 yards if he would have hit the holes.
And he got better at that as the season went along.
He did.
And coming from Rutgers, he didn't have a lot of experience with that. But the vision for me and a little bit better in pass protection, both of those things I think would help a lot for his development this year.
Yep.
What was that one that he fumbled? He like fumbled going through the hall. I was like, what is he doing? Oh my God. That was Jacksonville game. Like, what was that, bro?
Yeah, I think somebody. Yeah, he had to hit it. He wasn't expecting it. Yeah.
Yeah, but no, I think he's capable. 1,000 is good. 1,200, Chuck, that might be stretching it a little bit.
That's the high end of it. That's the high end.
Yeah, that's the high end. I mean, I'm not saying
that's the
but
best case scenario for sure.
Yeah, I can see them type of scenarios though. I can see it.
Yeah,
I could talk myself into it.
Mm-hmm. Hey, just a matter of when, I guess. as far as CEH goes.
He'll be gone after this year. I promise you guys.
Right.
One
Well,
more
what's the
year. Y'all,
rush?
I promise y'all can do it. Just one more
What's
year.
the rush?
What
know,
is the rush?
Yeah,
I'm
Kylie,
not
that's a
I'm not
wild take,
worried.
ain't it? Yeah, that's
One
wild.
more year. Y'all will make it
Wow.
through. I promise.
I'm not concerned at all.
Listen, I love it when people hold on to that hope. So listen,
Oh, there's no hope. I just know that he's going to be here for another year.
Right.
We'll see.
Okay. I'm sorry.
It's resignation on my part.
these are my thoughts. Say it.
Go ahead, coach.
No.
There you go. There you go.
PSA time.
Okay, no. We have actually seen Clyde. I know y'all not overly impressed, but if he's the third running back in what we've seen, I think that's cool. I don't get what's the rush and get rid of him if he's the third running back. Like it's not.
That's how I see it, bro. That's how I see it.
Yeah, it's like, is it hurting you? And then everybody's like, well, Prince did this. I ain't seen nothing Prince did yet. You know what I'm saying? Like I ain't seen no footage in there today.
Sometimes the first start is good for other people too, man. And
But
I
he's
think you
the
put
third running back.
what that got to do with a fresh start? Ronald Jones, it was the same thing when we picked him up.
And we kept him for 17
Hold on.
weeks.
But I'm saying how
Ronald
Tampa
Jones.
Bay got rid of him.
God
on,
knows
Ronald-
how he
Ronald
made
Jones.
it onto this roster.
As I said, Ronald
I
Jones didn't do
don't.
much of anything. He didn't do much of
Huh?
anything on this team. This is
No, I'm
completely
saying-
different.
No. I'm saying Clyde was a first round pick, right? Ronald Jones, that was
Yeah.
keeping on to him in Tampa.
Manny.
Come on, man. You know what it is, man. Come on, man.
Here's my thing. Exactly.
Just give him a fresh start, man. I don't see what's wrong with letting him get a fresh start. Just
I don't
put
either.
that
I
run out,
completely
man.
agree. Exactly. It's been sitting there for a few days too. You don't want that.
Oh,
Put that straight weed out, man. That's what that was, man.
oh God.
I don't know, man. I just don't get the get rid of Clyde talk. I don't get it. But
Country,
whatever.
I'm with you, bro. Like, I'm not in no rush, dog. Like,
No,
running
but
back,
there's a lot of blind faith in players that we haven't seen perform at this level, and I'm just wondering, where does it come from? There's a wide receiver that everybody believes in, and we haven't seen nothing for
Right.
you
But
to
we're
believe.
talking about the third running back, though, so it shouldn't be that
Exactly.
important, right?
Yeah, but he's wide receiver number 7.
Can I present this from a little bit of a different perspective?
What do you
So
mean?
obviously we know Pacheco is going to get the lead back carries in this offense, as he should.
Right.
Deneric Prince is not a guy coming out of college that has a wealth of experience receiving the ball or in pass protection. And that's the reality of it. So he's going to be, if he's on the roster, special teams guy in the back of Pacheco. Do you want Jet McKinnon taking all of the pass down snaps for the entirety of this season? And do you trust him to stay healthy doing that?
No.
No.
He's 31 now.
Right.
But-
He's 31.
D-Mac, I would say I'd rather risk putting McKinnon out there than even putting Clyde out there.
Look, if you dislike Clyde to that level, I understand it, but I don't. It's apathy at this point for him. I know he could play that role fine. It's not going to be good. It's not going to be bad. I know it's going to be fine. And earlier on in the season, for him to keep Jet McKinnon healthy for the games that matter, that's all that I need out of him as a third running back. So for me, it doesn't matter much. That's just me. Now, look, if you feel like, oh, well, guess what? You can go out and sign for Kareem Hunt to do that same role. Sure, I don't think Kareem Hunt wants that role. So good luck with that. But still, like that's what you're talking about. What are you replacing him with? Because I don't think you can go into this next season and say McKinnon is having all of our pass down work and Deneric Prince is going to be our RB3. I don't feel comfortable in that certain situation because of how the running back attrition is going to happen, and because I want McKinnon healthy when it matters most.
Yeah, I want to play how we've been playing it the past few years, man. Keep McKinnon fresh for the back end of the schedule and for the playoffs. Because that's when he's going to be the most effective.
Nah, get rid of
D-Mac,
him.
you did a great job.
No.
Get rid of him.
But I want to talk about. I want to get back to the safety group real quick. Mike Edwards. Mike Edwards. He's a new guy here. He said the reason why he chose the Chiefs because the coaching staff mainly Andy Reid, the Spags, the DB coach Dave Merritt. He says he likes the defensive system overall, and they have a great winning program. And they just come off a Super Bowl, so it was an easy decision for Mike Evers to come here. But Mike Evers, the quote that stood out for me is him talking about Brian Cook. He said Brian Cook looked like a veteran out there, calling out plays, calling out pre-snap stuff, getting guys in position on the back end. So that was very exciting to see from Mike Evers, at this press conference today. So it makes me more excited about Brian Cook because, like Country said, I've been on this guy since the rookie premiere at Arrowhead last year. So
Weak hips is hilarious.
Nah,
Shout-
you've been on Cook since day one, so I will give you that. I think we all can attest to that. So I had to warm up to him because he had a dangling earring, and I don't know, something.
but
But
Mike
nah,
Evers, Mike Evers
if
did
Cook
make
comes through and he replaces Juan and he plays up to that level or surpasses that level, that's perfect. I mean, I think and like Justin Reid put out this week that he's more comfortable in the defense. He understands the defense. So if that's set right there, I know Boogie has a little lack of faith in the secondary, but if those two guys are set, and then you got McDuffie, you got Snead out there, I'm thinking we got a top nine secondary out there.
Boogie just holding his secondary to a standard. You know what I mean? So I
You
mean,
know,
I'll blame
Boogie don't
Boogie.
believe it till he see it, man.
This
Nothing
is
wrong with
Boogie
that.
every year. This is Boogie every year, man. It's just how he's gonna be with the secondary.
That's why I was so mad that we didn't get D Hop, man, because then we wouldn't have to deal with none of this if we would have got D Hop.
D Hop let me down, man.
Oh
Do
boy.
better, D Hop.
No,
Nothing.
no, Juice, no,
Juice.
never, never in life have I wore a dangling earring.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Fuck off.
We need to make like
Hey.
a bet or something. Like if Clyde gets traded, Country's got to wear a dangling earring on the show.
There we go. There we go. There we
No.
go.
Yo,
Okay, I'll get y'all dangling earrings too. Last guy that wore a dangling earring, Mike Hughes. Now, y'all still like dangling earrings?
That's
Oh,
not a
God.
good sign.
Oh,
It's not a good
God.
sign.
no.
No, but
God.
Cook taking that leadership role doesn't surprise me. That's exactly what he did at Cincinnati. So I'm glad that he's stepping up and that understanding the defense so that where he feels comfortable, shouting those things out. And like you said, Country, if he plays up to what Juan did and possibly surpasses it, then I'll be extremely happy. He got better in coverage over the back half of the season. So
He
if he
did.
could do that, I'll be happy.
He did. Tyreek wore dangling earrings.
He did.
Oh,
And he was great. But
No, I like Cook though, man. I think Cook brings a nice energy. We don't need that roughing the penalty that he had in Jacksonville. We don't need that anymore. I think he learned his lesson. But I think I like his passion. I like his energy, and he'll hit you. He'll hit you too.
yep. And so Mike Evers, I do like Mike Evers' acquisition, just as a depth piece. I feel like he would be a good depth piece. We saw today that he did make a play. He picked off Patrick Mahomes' pass. He tipped it up in the air and then he snatched it out the hands of Fried Fogel, one of the guys that's trying to make the team or may not make the team, but Mike Evers
Or
did make a
is
play.
there because he's friends with Mahomes? So any one
Yeah.
of those two things.
Yeah, that too. Yeah.
Yeah. But Edwards is a veteran, a guy that you can kind of bring him in and he could be your third safety, and that's all you need out of him. And he's also he's a playmaker, so that's a good thing.
I was just going to say that we brought him here to be a ball hawk, right?
Yep.
Mhm.
Okay, Quinn.
Hey man, low key though, we upgraded tremendously at the safety and the linebacker spot. I don't think it kind of gets overshadowed by the wide receiver talk and all that stuff. But hey, Brett Veach had a good offseason, man.
Absolutely. Adding depth across this roster, especially on defense. He did a really good job at that. And the linebackers are something else that I'm going to be watching because whatever that rotation is kind of throughout training camp, who's playing with the ones, who's playing with the twos. Obviously, we know Drew Tranquil is a guy that's really good in coverage. And so does that mean that Nick Bolton takes less coverage snaps? Does that mean that Willie Gay gets less coverage snaps? It's a very important season for Willie Gay since he's a pending free agent as well. What does Leo Chanel do? Is he, relegated to his normal Sam role, or can he take a step forward? All those things are going to be interesting to watch. How they rotate those guys in through camp.
Who's going to get more snaps, Drew or Willie?
Willie barely. It's gonna be close.
Why y'all ready? Why is everybody ready to give up on Willie all of a sudden? Did
I'm
I
not
miss
ready.
something?
I'm not ready to give up on
Was
him,
it,
but I just feel like he's not gonna get
was
brought
it
back.
the vacuum cleaner?
It's not a give up thing for me. It's just the reality situation is I know Nick Bolton can be the primary early down back and or linebacker I should say, and Drew Tranquil is a better coverage linebacker than both of those guys. So in diamond nickel sets, I want Nick and Drew out there, and then obviously in early downs, Gay can be out there more so, and his athleticism is extreme. Maybe that step is coming for him. But it's difficult to just say that outright that he's going to outsnap Drew just because I know what Drew can do as far as the coverage aspect.
And then Leo Chanel ready to get unleashed.
Yeah,
At some point.
he
Leo
can't.
chopping at the bit.
I
Hey,
definitely
Leo,
think Drew getting more snaps than Willie this year.
Yes, Quinn, I'm very happy that he is replacing Harris. Thank the good Lord that he is.
it's a health.
That's
Yeah.
part of it too. Health too. That's part of
Health,
it.
health is
Sure.
part of it, definitely for sure.
Yeah.
And it
I
is
mean, a
worth
lot of
saying,
people.
really.
It feels like a lot of people are already ready to cut him.
Not
It is,
cut him. He's a free agent.
yeah.
Oh yeah, okay.
It is worth saying also with Willie, he is a guy that came from college. He didn't play a lot in college. Like he only had I think it was maybe 15 games ish, due to a few different reasons. So it's not like he should be already developed. This probably was always going to take some time with him. So that leap may happen this year. And if it does, I'd be very happy because if he takes the mental side of his game to a different level with all of his athleticism, he's going to be a really scary linebacker to watch. So yeah.
Mm-hmm. All right. So, Boogie mentioned it earlier. D Hop decided to take his talent to Tennessee. So 2 years, 26 million, 13 per year. So I mean, were y'all disappointed at all that D Hop didn't come here, or y'all saw it coming?
Definitely disappointed.
So y'all know, I feel like I've been on like a roller coaster with Diop because like in the beginning, I really wasn't super into it in the beginning. I felt like he was a little older than what we were looking for, and he just kind of had a shaky pass with obviously his suspension. But then Boogie talked me into him and got me all high on him, and so I was like, okay, Diop. And then he didn't end up coming here, and I was a little disappointed. But I was also kind of thinking, like, I feel like there's so much potential in that wide receiver room, and I feel like it's a really great opportunity for Mahomes to kind of go out there and form chemistry with these other guys. I think it would have been great for Rashee Rice to learn under someone like D-Hop, being that they're both contested ball guys. But I think in the long run that this will be better for the room. We've got 3 guys coming back who already were on the team last year, who scored in the Super Bowl last year. I think it's going to be great. So, I mean, you've got MVS. I'm really high on him. Sky Moore, I'm thinking trending up. And then Tony, of course, who we just need him to stay healthy. So, I mean.
Yeah, I kind of knew D-Hop really wasn't going to come, but just for him to sign that contract and to go to Tennessee out of I hate when they even come out and say that winning is the biggest. You don't have to say that, man. You don't have to say that.
Right.
So when you say that, then you go sign with the Titans. It's like, come on, man. We see what veteran receivers do when they go to Tennessee, man. Then you got Tannehill. Is he even going to start? No.
Is he even there still?
He is. He'll be the starter to start the year because they're going to be trying to win games. So as long as they're in the race, Tannehill's probably going to be the starter, and then we'll see between Willis and Levis who takes over after.
Yeah, I mean, look, Tennessee, they was 7-3 until all them injuries finally piled up. I mean, they had like 25 guys injured, down that stretch when they lost 7 games. So it was a matter of time for injuries piled up.
Tennessee run that old brand of football of we're gonna run, then throw, and that nobody uses that anymore. That's old football. You can't win like that no more. Like that's dead.
mean,
Yeah,
maybe not a Super Bowl.
their defense should be fine. They'll be able to run the ball because Derrick Henry finds a way to get the job done with all the volume that they give him. So I'd see them, in the 7 to 9 win range. But I mean, the Jaguars still a class of the division in my opinion.
That ain't good.
Look, we don't expect
Yeah, it's a
Tennessee to be
middling
shit on
team. I, I
defense.
I expect them to be a middling team, even with Diop. It is what it is.
I mean,
Vrabel is
Yeah.
a good coach.
Vrabel gonna have him playing though.
Right, and that's
Vrabel
the
gonna
thing
have
about
him in games. He's a good coach.
But that's the thing about it and it's not a bad thing, but it is a reality. You're going to be good enough that you're not going to be getting a top pick. You're not going to be securing some type of generational prospect at the quarterback position or otherwise. But you're also not going to be bad enough because Vrabel is that good of a coach. So
We're
But
gonna
they
get there,
drafted a
Kevin.
guy that put mayonnaise in his coffee, bro. Like they're not trying to get better.
Man,
you make an
That boy,
excellent point. I can't combat that.
I
that
feel
boy
like
eats bananas. He don't even peel the banana. Never mind. Go ahead. Next subject.
I just feel like if they wasn't so banged up last year, they would have easily been a playoff team, and they might have won the AFC South. Still, they might have, but we'll see, man. We'll see what they do this year. But like Arrowhead Chief Podcast said earlier, it all comes down to this: we done seen it with Odell, we done now seen it with D Hop. These star players, they use us to drive up the price tag until a sucker comes in and and gives them a deal that they like, and they go
It
inside.
works. It works.
I'm sick of being used.
Boogie done gone through that before. That was
Boogie,
personal.
it's the price of winning rings, man. You just
It
gotta
is.
accept it, Boogie. You
It's
just
a
Hey,
used me.
Boogie went personal with that one.
Y'all know I want D Hop,
I'm
man.
sick of being used.
D-Mac, Boogie like Eddie Murphy and Boomerang when he was, I'm going to call my mother.
Oh my god. And that's funny.
Okay, if you haven't seen Boomerang, you get it later.
Right. All right.
That's
So
funny as hell.
It is.
since we did talk about it last week, let's go and get to it now. All right. So Netflix quarterback series. I assume everybody done watched it now. Man, it's a dude. I mean, shout out to Omaha Productions. Shout out to NFL Films. They did a great job with this. Patrick Mahomes. I mean, everybody's looking forward to that part. I'm sure some people skip Kirk Cousins and Marcus Mariota just to get the Patrick Mahomes. I mean, I know somebody who edited them out. Really did edit them out. It's just Patrick Mahomes,
Made
and he
him a
called
home
it
super
QB
cut.
one.
Mhm.
So yeah, but I watched all three, and Kirk Cousins. I mean, he has some moments in there, and a lot of people like the review of Kirk Cousins. Like more people started to be more of a fan of his. We brought the highlight of him being frustrated when it was down 33-0 the Colts, and they came back, made the largest comeback in NFL history. And then, you got to see all the guys behind the scenes, their families, how they handling family life and how they study and preparing during the game week and how they managing injuries too. Like some of those clips when they was trying to manage those injuries, man, it just looked like it was real brutal, dog. Like, especially Mahomes, man. Mahomes was going through it.
Mhm.
Like when it came to playoff time, him and Bobby Stroup, they had to really lock in and try to get him as good as possible, along with the athletic trainers and chief staff. So overall, it was good, but I feel like Marcus Mariota's part was kind of bland.
Yeah.
He didn't have much personality to me, so I was kind of glad they stopped talking about him after episode 5, honestly. But Kirk Cousins and Mahomes, I was pretty cool with that. So I mean, what you
Yeah.
guys
They,
think about the
they,
series
they
overall?
really they really could have kept it as Mahomes and Cousins for real. Because Mariota had a good, but then it got boring quick, and then he
Mhm.
stopped playing, and then it was all that controversy. So, but if you don't come out of this series respecting Kirk Cousins more, then you didn't watch everybody, of course.
He was
But
getting lit up, dog. He was
he,
getting
Yeah,
lit
he
hey,
up.
was getting killed out there.
Cousins is a warrior, bro.
Woo.
Like
I
I've
felt
never been a Kirk Cousins fan, but he like episode 1, I was like, yo, Kirk Cousins is raw, man, like for real. And he's like clean cut. He's not fancy and all that stuff. So to get him to wear them chains and stuff, like that was way out of his character. But he's a good dude. He got a good wife supporting him. His wife was like She was bomb for real because she was really like, we take Tuesday off, and me and Kurt, it's me and Kurt, and I love that about their relationship. And so that was cool. I earned a lot of respect for Kirk Cousins. And Juice brought it up. A lot of people hate Brittany, but if you don't come out of this series realizing Brittany is like a strong, supportive wife, there's something wrong with you. I don't know what you was watching. I don't know what you was doing, but Brittany should be getting a lot more respect than the hate that she get for being a great wife. Like, it's kind of weird. Like, you know what I'm saying? But
Yeah, I'm right there.
The main thing I came out with was respect for Kirk Cousins and a lot of love for Brittany. Like, yo, Brittany's dope. You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah, I'm right there with you. I mean, Brittany certainly came out, just is incredibly a supportive wife, and ultimately that's what you want in a wife. I mean, she stood by Patrick, always was right there beside him, was there before anybody knew he was going to be a $500 million quarterback either. So I think you definitely got to come out with a little bit more respect for Brittany and what she does for the families. Well, but yeah, no. Kirk Cousins. I've never been a fan of Kirk Cousins, and I don't think he's all of a sudden a better quarterback. But the man absolutely was a warrior out there for sure. I mean, he was getting destroyed on every single snap. It felt like that offensive line was doing him no favors. So the fact that he was willing to fight through that, I got to give Kirk Cousins a lot of respect for that. And yeah. And definitely, obviously, we learned a little bit more about Mahomes and his trash talk. Certainly, some people may not have known. We got a little bit inside look, obviously, at the injury, which was interesting to say the least. He was fighting tooth and nail to get back on that field. The funniest thing, though, for me at least, was him at the Super Bowl opening night. Him and Jalen talking together, and he was like, "Yeah, I had an Airbnb reserved here 3 months ago." And Jalen Hurts kind of looked at him and just paused, and he was like, "You live out here?" He was like, "No, I just got a house here, 3 months ago." So I was like, "Oh, okay."
I knew where I was gonna be, bro.
Right? He was just like, "Oh, okay, I just gotta accept this." That he just knew 3 months ago that he was gonna be here. But yeah, that's what it is.
Wait a minute. Public service announcement. These are my thoughts alone, and doesn't reflect my team. Patrick Mahomes cusses a lot.
Oh, a lot. Oh, hell, a lot.
If you're sensitive about the F word and 4-letter words, he's a very colorful language. He cusses like a sailor.
Yeah, I want to.
So
I want to see.
if you're sensitive, just block. You can't watch this because Pat is gonna cuss. He gonna cuss, and that cuss he let out after we lost to the Bengals, I felt
that was
in my soul because I did the same. Because Pat, we cussed the same. Because I cussed the same way that you cussed after we lost that game. So if you're sensitive, this is not the series for you. You I don't know if they got a clean version or something, but this is you ain't gonna be hearing nothing Pat say anyway. Because a lot of it is Pat cusses a lot.
Because
country, them 4 hours on Sundays, you are guaranteed to get Lavon Mahomes out there. That's no doubt about it.
Because he's a lot blacker. Yeah, because dog, look. I want to see. I wonder how much was cut out, dog. That's the scenes I want to see. Like, how much of that was cut out? Let me get the stuff that was cut out, dog. Yeah, that dude was definitely a maniac in some scenes, yo. Like, he was just going crazy, yo. Especially that Raiders game on Monday night. Max Crosby. Somebody in the comments mentioned Max Crosby. Max Crosby tried to get in his head, do the little late cheap shots and whatnot.
You woke up the wrong mother.
Fire that boy up, man.
That was hilarious, man. And Juice mentioned it earlier about the whole cutting and stuff. Peyton having to ask Andy Reid about what could be left in there, what couldn't be left in there. I'm sure Mahomes, said some stuff about that as well from a cursing perspective. But yeah, the cutting room floor stuff, I'm sure, was even more interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, that's another person. Pat Mahomes' dad is awesome too.
Yeah.
Kylie, I know you got thoughts. I know you. Come on, give me because Kylie finished the first day.
Yeah, Kylie, go ahead.
I got a lot of thoughts. So first of all, I thought it was great. I actually watched it in like 24 hours while I was working.
Same.
But no, I thought it was dope. Like, I don't even know what else to say about it. Like you, Country, I was not really a fan Am I frozen?
No.
No.
Oh no.
You good? You good? Is she
Not
good?
frozen. I can see.
Kylie,
Oh, shit.
Kylie, you're good. Okay.
Oh
You
boy.
got to hit the side of the TV.
Yeah. Come back in, Carly.
I'm here. Was I frozen?
No,
No.
You went frozen the
not at
entire time.
all. You good?
It was like so sorry. I don't know what's going on. I might have to leave. But no, you could just see what a competitor Pat was. Like he was talking all that shit on the field. And then even after the games and he was saying he was blacking out and everything, like he just flips a switch, goes in the game. He's Levon, as you guys like to say, and he's just out there ready to play. I thought that was so cool to see. And then after, I think it was the Jags game in the playoffs, whenever they were like, who would you rather play? And he was like, well, I want to play the Bengals. Like, I loved how hungry he was to get back out on the field with the Bengals and with Joe Burrow and prove, like, we're going to beat these guys. And then, like, all the shit that was talked with Burrowhead and everything, like, that was eating him up. So it was really cool to see how he was handling all that, all the outside noise. And then, of course, compounded with an injury. Like, that was really cool. He was putting in work with Bobby Stroop. And then I know we've talked about it, but Brittany Mahomes, the supporter that she is, to not only care for their kids, but like she was like, oh, we're having a baby, and just kind of like went about her business. Like everything felt like she just felt so together and so composed and so supportive and stable, I think is probably the right word, like for their relationship and for all of the chaos that is their life and that is football season. Like she just felt like a very stable constant in his life, and they have a really great relationship, and she's a huge competitor herself. So they have that understanding, and you could just see like when they were hanging out and talking, they felt like best friends. And I thought that was really key. Like that's one of the keys to a relationship. You guys know, like being able to live the rest of your life with your best friend, like that's the goal. And it feels like they really have that. So I could go on. I won't keep taking up time, but I could go on.
No.
It was awesome. It was awesome.
I didn't know that
Kirk
either, Paul.
Cousins, I'm a big fan of now. I watched all the parts. If you didn't watch all the parts, I recommend it. It's really cool to see just how down to earth they are, and it's easy to like rank QBs and be like Kirk Cousins sucks, and like we do that, we all do that, but you kind of forget they're human, and like this really humanizes them to show you like the life behind the player, and you're like, well, I don't want to put him 10th on my QB list. Like he's kind of a good guy. I want to root for him, but like, like it's easy for us as fans to just like make lists and say shit and whatever else. But yeah, they're human. It was cool. It was cool.
So they got renewed for season 2.
Mm-hmm.
Would you do quarterback again, or would you want to pick another position?
Oh no, they're sticking with
Or like
quarterback.
it's going to be strictly quarterback.
It's going to be quarterback.
Yeah.
All right. So
Quarterback.
what quarterbacks would you follow? I think Lamar got to be up there.
Lamar would be a lot of fun.
I have Lamar. Yeah.
I think Hurts would be good.
I
And
would
you
like to
need
see
like a dark horse.
Daniel Jones personally. I just think seeing up there with Dable and a new coach. Well, he was new last year, but seeing them continue to try and push the meter and get better. They just signed him to a big deal. So, the Daniel Jones deal.
Mm-hmm.
That's actually amazing.
I think he could be cool. And you got the New York media up there. Like, there's just a lot of stuff that kind of makes that job up there maybe a little more difficult because of that. It'll be interesting to see how Aaron Rodgers fares since he loves the limelight.
Somebody mentioned like putting a rookie in there.
That would be cool.
How do you do that as a rookie though? Like you're already trying to adjust to the
league. Yeah, that might be
you
too
got
much.
Cameras around you.
That's tough to put on a rookie.
Josh Allen would be perfect, I think, for that, man.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
They would want to put him on there.
See that as well.
They would want to push that for him. Yeah.
Does Herbert have enough personality to do it?
I don't think so. Honestly, I don't think he does.
I would put Burrow over him also.
But at the same time, I didn't think Kirk Cousins had enough personality to do it, and he
also,
you know what I'm saying? So,
my personal, like, I would love to see Geno Smith, just because I think that he's got a little bit of personality.
I'm a huge Geno Smith fan.
I'm always going to use Geno Smith. The lesser guy is a little bit more difficult because it's got to be somebody kind of on the bubble. You think maybe like a Baker Mayfield type of guy, I guess, in Tampa trying to hold on to his job and
Yes.
save our Kyle Trask. So
I like that Jared
it's a
Goff
bit
one.
difficult. Jared Goff
Yeah,
could be
Jared
very
Goff would be
interesting.
good.
Interesting team this year.
Goff definitely could be interesting for sure.
What about Jimmy G?
Or Derek Carr. I would say
Oh,
like
Lord.
either one of
Derek
those guys
Carr.
heading to a new team.
Kylie, I don't even want to try to
Jordan Love.
somehow like Derek Carr. I can't.
Jordan Love could
But at
be
least
interesting
he's
as well.
not for the Raiders anymore. I think for me, like I would much rather not try to like Joe Burrow or Josh Allen. I mean, I
Yeah.
respect them as players, but I don't really want to humanize them. I already talk enough shit on them.
But Collie, don't you want to see how they feel after we beat them again?
100%. I get your point. I get the appeal. I totally get the appeal. It's just knowing that I went in liking or not liking Kirk Cousins and came out a fan. Like it's risky. I don't want to go in and be a fan of these two. I already hear enough about them.
I
But
would
Joe
say Aaron
Burrow's
Rodgers,
face-
but he got hard knocks, so
Yeah,
he's
they're-
already locked up. But
Rodgers
he's
ain't
gonna be a
trying to do that
weirdo
again.
anyway.
Yeah, forget Aaron Rodgers.
Trevor Lawrence isn't bad. I
His
wouldn't.
personality, I'm not sure about.
I like that Justin Fields. I like that.
Just Fields could be interesting.
Who else? Who's like a low key, under the radar type of guy that you? Russell Wilson might be fun to follow because he got the Sierra aspect and all that stuff. And
Don't sound
Yeah.
interesting.
I don't know.
No, I'd
It
be
just
very
feels.
I'd be very interested, but I don't think there's a chance in heck he does it. But that would be
oh
very,
yeah,
very interesting.
nah.
I feel like it would all be so staged. Like it would just feel so unauthentic. I don't
That's
know.
also
I know
fair.
that's
how
not
I
fair to
feel
say
about
because
him
I don't know
too,
them, but
Collie.
yeah, it just feels like.
I see that.
How
point.
long did you? Yeah, like the pick. I don't know. It don't feel staged. I'm.
I
Now,
know, but
Tua,
when-
John said a good one. Tua would be very interesting. There's a
Tua.
lot of things going around with Tua. That could be a very interesting.
Coming off them injuries, yeah, that would be.
And he's got personality to him a little bit too. I would be very interested in Tua.
oh, hey, you know somebody who might need this though, because his public perception is terrible right now. Kyler Murray.
Oh,
Sorry, you were gonna say Deshaun Watson.
But
I
don't
did.
How did I miss this Deshaun Watson college? You're a genius.
Oh,
No,
God.
they not. Definitely not.
They not putting Deshaun Watson on that John. Dog.
They don't know what they would get. They're like, and where are you going?
They ain't putting Deshaun Watson on that John.
It would be one episode. He'd be like, "Yeah, I'm off to the massage." They'd be like, "What?
Come on. We got to scrap the whole show now. Come on, man.
We can't use any of this.
But does Kyler Murray have his own show? Ain't Kyler Murray doing his own show?
Yes,
though?
so that's a good point. They're
Oh, he is?
They did a
Yeah.
secondary. I have to look it up, but they did something with him tied to quarterback that followed him as well. So I don't know
Right.
what it is exactly,
Oh,
but
Right.
they had a trailer for it as well.
that
Hey.
college-
Really?
hey, Kyler Murray is wearing them Dion 96 Turf Diamonds this year. They are fire, bro. If a Chief player got a Nike contract, go get them Deion Sanders, bro. They would look so hard with the Chiefs jersey, bro. For real.
Okay,
yeah.
so it
Kyler needed though.
it says that it's there's another quarterback Netflix show. It involves the newest episode of Flight Plan Loading, where Kyler Murray goes into detail about his season-ending injury and plans for the future.
I don't want to see that. It's like watching the Titanic. I don't want to see no ship sink.
Dak Prescott.
What about Dak
Dak-
Prescott? You
Look,
think Dak Prescott needs it?
And he
He
just
doesn't
I
need it,
think-
but it's a Cowboy, so people are gonna watch it. They know
Yeah.
it's gonna be
Exactly. It would draw big numbers because he's a cowboy.
Does he have personality? Does he have the personality to carry 8 episodes though?
I think
I
he's
mean-
fine. I wouldn't say he definitely does, but I think he would be fine enough to put out there. There's enough interesting stuff around the Cowboys.
Who you got, bud?
What about Sam Howell to replace Mariota this year?
Oh God, hell no. Sam Howell, hell no.
What about the kid from the Texans with the long neck? What?
Davis.
Mills?
What, you gonna watch him hold a clipboard?
We the good thing if you did do Sam Howell, we'd get a lot of good EB quotes out of that.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we would.
Okay, if you could do another position, who would you do?
Running back.
Wide receivers.
Running back.
I think Patrick Mahomes said offensive lineman.
He said offensive line. Wide receivers for me easily because they're always just they just be doing anything. So I'd absolutely choose wide receivers.
Or DBs. Wide receivers, DBs to me.
Yeah, either one's fine with me.
Defensive lineman, they crack a lot of jokes.
I was gonna say edge, yeah, something like defensive
Lineman could be
lineman.
interesting too. Yeah.
Ooh, because following Frank Clark around for a season would be amazing.
Amazing.
That would be amazing.
Amazing.
That would be amazing.
Miles Garrett would probably be amazing.
Chris Jones would be amazing.
Chris Jones would be
On the
amazing.
line.
Or Colin Saunders from he's a
Yeah. But
Yeah.
following Sauce Gardner for a year, you know what I'm saying? Like, or
Oh, yeah.
who else?
Jair Alexander, he got a lot of personality.
Yeah.
In the few interviews he's done after games.
He does. That is.
I don't think they want to follow Stephon Diggs. That might be.
Stephon Diggs.
No, follow Stephon Diggs, man. Let's get all the juicy stuff in there, man.
Because he's not too happy right now.
Of course,
Pacheco would dance the whole show.
Of course, Paul
would.
Yeah.
Or sing.
Who has a dang? You said Deshaun Watson. I am stuck on that because he needs to rehab his entire
image,
public persona. You know
He
what I'm
needs to
saying?
throw some touchdowns this year. That's all he got to do. Don't forget about it.
Oh, Michael Parsons would be good. I think he has a good personality. He's fun.
Yeah,
Max Crosby.
Max Crosby.
Crosby's a good option.
Yeah, Max Crosby. He cool.
Hey, don't punch my boy though, man. Don't do that again.
Is it because he's a Raider?
But how far would you go if you're losing? How far would you let people in though? If you're losing,
I mean, hell, the Cardinals let people in last year off Hard Knocks.
Ugh.
But that's more of an NFL kind of mandated thing, so that's a little bit more difficult for this type of thing. You know, obviously the quarterback or the player or whatever kind of has to allow all of that access in and kind of, you know, be willing to talk about those difficult things. It's not easy. So
I wonder if they would just be like, all right, we need 2 more quarterbacks. We're going to let Mahomes do it again.
I mean,
they could. Mahomes' production company was a part of it. That is a possibility.
You think Mahomes would be open to doing it again?
I think he would. If he already dealt with it and went through it. I mean, it's obviously a point of marketing for him. So I think he would.
I can't stand
Put
Kevin.
that comment up one more time. What's that say?
Of course, no, don't bring that up. Oh my God.
It's so true.
LeBron is going to have a documentary. Y'all just might get ready for it.
Yeah, LeBron.
Okay, subject real quick. Kylie, 3 NBA guys. Who would you follow?
Steph for sure. I just love Steph.
Steph is a very good point.
Ooh, that's a good question. I'm gonna say Steph and I'm blanking right now. Who's Memphis? He's in trouble.
You're gonna be suspended for 25 games.
But let me tell you why. Because it would be the John T show, and it would just be he and his dad walking around the whole time. I
want to follow Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler's hilarious, so I'd go and follow him as well.
Mm-hmm. And he makes coffee and stuff. Jimmy Butler just seems like a cool guy. Yeah.
Boogie, I know you got Kevin Durant.
I got KD, Luka, and where else I want to go? Do I want to go Kyrie?
We need somebody like Austin Reeves or somebody. Like somebody that's like
a different guy.
Like a cult hero. You know what I'm saying? Somebody like Dylan Brooks or something like.
Austin Reeves. Oh my goodness.
That's a good question, though.
I would ask baseball, but we don't want to see nobody in baseball.
I got time for
Ronald Acuna Jr. would be a lot of fun to follow around, in my opinion.
Who?
We could watch Mookie Betts play. We could watch Ronald Acuna Jr. Maybe a little bit Tatis in there, you know.
Who's the new? Wrestlers would be fun. Following wrestlers for a whole year, that would be hilarious. Barry Bond.
Don't wrestlers have to play a sport first?
Look, 1-0.
You took a shot at baseball, country. I had to give it back to you, dog.
Hey man, where's our sponsors?
Put him up.
I'm surprised Kylie didn't name those Chicago Bulls though. That kind of hurt my.
Levine, like I'm not interested in that. Balls hurt. Like I don't.
Please,
Yes,
not Zion.
Zion.
DeRozan.
No Zion.
Zion.
Please,
Oh,
not
God.
Zion.
Alex Caruso. I would watch Alex Caruso behind the scenes.
Oh God.
Caruso, shout out Caruso.
Anyway, man.
I would follow Zach LaVine if he wasn't injured all the time.
I can't even get into the Bulls. They make me sad. Let's talk about the Chiefs. They make me happy.
Me with the Nets.
Yeah.
God.
Oh shoot. Somebody
As far as college players go, it'd probably be Marvin Harrison Jr. You start there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
College football.
I'd love it.
Caleb Williams, obviously.
I'd love to see Angel Reese do it for a season. She's has a great.
Yeah, she hot right now. She hot right now.
Yeah.
That NIL bag.
Obviously, Caleb. You said Caleb. Yeah.
Harden would be a good one. He's so dramatic.
God, y'all are
Jesus Christ. Y'all terrible.
It does feel like there need to be a little more editing.
Hey,
for Zion
no,
and
I got a show. I got a show I did.
Oh no.
Every morning we tap in the Boogie and just watch him on Twitter.
Watch me on who?
Watch you on Twitter and you. Because Boogie, early morning Boogie is hilarious on Twitter. You don't know what you gonna get out.
If Zion put it in the streets, I'm putting it on the TL, man. Don't worry.
Gotcha. Oh my goodness, dog.
Lord Jesus.
No, Chuck, we got another show because we can follow you watching Lakers games all year. Just set a camera up and let it go.
Bro, I would love to watch that.
No.
I would love for you to meet LeBron in real life. Like I would love for you to interview him. Like I would for that.
And name all the players that are better than him that you have on that list.
In front of him.
And then
just read off the list. Just be like.
And then Kevin McHale will give you buckets, LeBron.
Y'all know when they got a long scroll that you just unravel. Just unravel the list in front of him. Just be like, all right, we're gonna go down 1, 2, 3. Just keep on going down in front of him. See what happens.
Or we can have D-Mac and Tom Brady talk back and forth. I owed you for that one, for that wrestling comment. We no, Paul. We don't care.
We can't. No, we gotta stop.
We don't care. We don't care. We don't care how you feel.
I care, man.
Can't do it, Paul.
All right.
Can't do it, Paul. Can't do it.
Hey, I like LeBron, but LeBron, come on, bro. Stop switching your jerseys. Come on, bro. Just stick to a number. You done had 7 numbers, bro. Come on.
So it's Anyway, let's
pay homage.
Yeah. Anyway, man.
There's nothing wrong with wrestling. I just wanted the joke. That's it. There's nothing wrong.
It worked. It went over. It definitely so, because I gave you the facial expression that you was asking for. Because you really caught me off guard when you said that. I ain't gonna lie, that was a good one.
You was stuck.
That was a good one, dude.
You was stuck for a minute. But yeah, let's go and get to the sponsor, man. Let's go and pay homage real quick. They got the Pop Culture Tea session going on. You still got that going on. But for today's special, it's 20% off site wide. So get on the website today, order something, get 20% off of that. Got the NFL logo collection going on. As training camp has started for a few NFL teams. I think more start tomorrow. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right. So we got that going on. And then you got your lounge go-to collection or whatever. So whether you want to work out, lounge around the house or whatever, just get some fresh air. It don't matter. You got that collection too. So copy some gear, pay homage. They got some more coming soon. All right. Before we wrap the show up tonight, we didn't talk about it last week, but shout out to the Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs. They swept the ESPYs, so salute to them on that. Travis Kelce, he got to the 99 rating club again on Madden, so I think that's the 3rd time he's done that. So it's the most ever
Amongst
in that 99 club. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And so some people they still talk about the ratings and all that other stuff, but I've been away from video games for a long time now. I've been retired, so everybody else had
This is the first. Are we taping this? Okay. Okay. We got this on tape, but you heard that, right?
He's retired.
He retired. I heard it. You
I've
heard
been
that,
retired.
Kylie? Did you hear retired?
I've
I
been
didn't hear
retired.
it.
Okay, D Mac, we good? You can
I heard
hear?
it. Yeah,
Okay. All right. So I don't want you to say nothing when Pat Mahomes is a 98. I don't want you crying because you retired. Okay?
Look,
It-
look, I
he'll
don't
be
care,
in
but
that
I know
nightclub
they're gonna do
next
that.
tomorrow.
I know
Yeah.
they're gonna do that with Patrick Mahomes. I know they're gonna put him in the 98. So,
They
but
They was
they'll make
bitching. They was
they
crying
put him in
about
there.
Creed being a 90. I'm like, man, we probably got the highest ranked team altogether.
yeah, we
This
definitely
shit
the
shouldn't
highest
happen
ranked team. Should be.
when
You
you
know, I'm
like
talking to people that play Madden, Chuck. I'm talking to people that actually play the game. You
I'm
know,
just taking a guess.
you ain't played since 2005. Chuck ain't played since ESPN came out with that game. That's how long it's been.
Oh, yeah, it's over
But
with.
yeah, he be mad at Madden every year.
Yeah,
oh,
2K was
oh,
nice.
let me bring up Paul. What you say, Paul?
Oh God, man.
Oh,
Chuck, you better wrap it
Paul,
up
chill
before they
out.
come at you.
Paul, chill out. Chill out, Paul.
They're coming at
Chill
you.
out.
now how
hey,
many
So they come
many
at
times
you.
has Chuck given up on basketball because of LeBron over the past decade? How many
52.
times has he
How many
put that?
games? How many games is it? How many
82?
games did the Lakers win last year?
All of them rigged. All of them.
I play FIFA too. I'm not good at it. I just got it, but
No, FIFA's
Y'all
fun.
funny,
FIFA's fun
man.
to fool around with.
oh, don't
But
forget about the quarterback tournament, the best throws of the 2023 training camp. We all trying to get certain days, but I think we pulling up. I know we have no days certified, so never mind. When we get some like certified, we know we're gonna be there dates. If you see us, say what's up. We show love to all our fans, and we are the most interactive podcast in Kansas City. I'm putting a stamp on that. I know we are. I don't even know if we are, but we are. So we got some special things planned for training camp. If you see us, don't be afraid to say what's up. Don't be afraid to ask Chuck about LeBron. So have fun with that.
don't do that.
Do be
Don't do
afraid.
that.
I was gonna say, don't do that.
Don't do that.
Don't do that.
I would rather not. Don't do that. I mean, I'm
Boogie
going
might
to the
be there.
opener.
Boogie, you gonna be at the
I'm
opener?
going to the opener. So
I don't
Bad
know,
luck Chuck is gonna be there.
man. I'm questionable. I see how
I'm
much
just
them tickets is, man. I'm
that's
questionable
dead.
right now.
Boogie
I
play
know
this
Boogie,
they.
game
stop.
every year
Boogie,
like he
stop.
can't afford.
Boogie, stop. Talk about questionable. This
No,
gonna,
I'm
gonna
talking
turn to
about selling
problem.
my ticket. I
I was
mean,
about
they
to say
going.
make that profit off of it, man.
Yeah,
You
they
know they're
going
gonna be
for so
expensive.
much right now.
Hey, hey, Kevin, that's disrespectful, bro. My bro ain't
Look,
never
all
wore no
right,
lugs, bro. Chill
all
out.
right, man.
Those were
That's
Air
dead.
Max.
That's so
Those
dead.
were Air
Right.
Maxes.
That's so dead,
He
bro.
said lugs, bro.
That's so dead. But Boogie, man, is the resale value on the tickets like that right now
Yeah,
for the
I'm
opener?
sure it is. I'm sure they are.
yeah, they
I'm sure
going.
they are.
It's crazy right now. These first couple games for the Chiefs is crazy.
I
I
know the
still
Chicago
re-
game is crazy.
Paul, I want to know where they're going to put the banner because there's one on each side, and obviously the scoreboard's on the other side. So I really want to know where they're going to put that banner.
We'll talk about it. We'll be here.
Yes, we will.
All right. Well, with that being said, that's it for the tonight show. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share on your social media platforms. Till the next
Please.
episode, we out of here, Chiefs Kingdom.